factory based in Shanghai, China. We manufacture the knit and woven headwear for Patagonia. We've been working with Patagonia since 2008 and seen a number of changes that have really affected our business and most importantly the bottom line. In that time, we've had depreciation in the US dollar, rapid appreciation in the RMB that was just coming off a pegged rate to the US dollar and becoming floating. In addition, material cost increases, wage increases, addition of Social Security benefits and unemployment benefits that need to be paid out to the workers. And it's been a very challenging environment. Nc Accessory has roughly 900 workers. Upwards of 90% of them are female. The age demographics probably in the 18 to 26 range. A vast majority of them are coming from some of the poor provinces, for example, Anhui and Jiangxi province. They're coming there for a better life, to earn wages, to send money back to their family. Our factory is probably in the early stages arena of where you would go when you first come to Shanghai. You're going to do a manual labor work job. It's just a very entry-level position where we need hands to build our products. And so they'll start there and work their way up to certain positions. Maybe they're a supervisor. And from there, they could probably jump off to other areas, not quite the service industry, but maybe electronics would probably be the next step. I think that we have a very high turnover rate because there's a lot of poaching going on, almost like a land grab of labor, where you're getting people standing outside of factories trying to recruit them because there's just not enough labor to go around. That's been very challenging in trying to manage your supply chain from a production standpoint, because if people are being taken out of their area and they've been trained up for several months and all of a sudden you lose a part of your sewing line that's sewing the crown and the visor, you got to retrain someone to sew that in there and your productivity goes down. So it's been challenging in managing our processes. We're starting to study the behavioral habits of our workers for the longevity of our manufacturing business. We want to see what drives them. Is it the money? Is it the living situation? Is it the drive to have your family? Where geographically in China that might be. And what we're finding is there's been specific areas and specific provinces that we're seeing a large congregation of ex-employees of ours that are going back there to be with their family. Family is very, very important in Chinese culture. And those are some of the challenges we've faced in regards to labor migration. We are seeing more companies building their manufacturing facilities in hometowns of their workers. There's only so far you can go west. Eventually, there's no water there, there's no waterways. So to put all of your stuff on the rail or put it onto a truck, take it to the nearest river, boat it out to the main port, because logistically, you're just adding on additional cost, you're adding on lead times. And with people wanting to manage their cash flow, they want to get as close to just-in-time inventory as possible, where they can order it, turn it quick, have it on the shelf. The so-called China price that everyone has in their head from the outsourcing game that began a number of years ago of outsourcing your products overseas to get improved margins is rapidly disappearing. You can no longer achieve that with all the additional costs that are being piling on. We've seen mandated minimum wage increase in China twice in the last 18 months, and that's really not that easy to manage, especially when you're quoting on seasons and deliveries that are going to be 1 year away from the time that you're actually going to get paid for your goods. With all these cost increases in China of materials and wages and unemployment insurance and Social Security, a pure capitalist would look at that and say, my margins are shrinking, I'm not making as much money as I was in the past. Looking at it from a social standpoint, the silver lining in that statement is you're actually helping someone, become more mature in their life and their living standard. We have a certain living standard that we want to live in this country. Why shouldn't they afford the same kind of luxuries that we have here?